Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. Life Speaking Food, good food for every soul and a word for every heart. So, as you guys know, it is fall again. So I'm all about the fall dishes, but it's not a dessert this time. We are going to actually make spaghetti squash with other vegetables in it. And it's very simple. You guys are gonna love it. A lot of people eat this squash in place of carbs, so they don't want the pasta. So that is what we're going to make today. We're gonna put some colorful root vegetables in them as well. You guys, this is a great hearty, filling meal. So if you never had squash before, spaghetti squash, this is the time. So y'all get on to the store, go get it, come back, come in the kitchen with me, and we'll do this together, okay? So let's do this. Let's go in the kitchen. Let's make this spaghetti squash. You guys are gonna love this. It's not complicated. I'm gonna try and keep it simple for the fall, okay? So that is what we're going to do. But important. I don't just love to cook. I also have a spoken word at the end of all of my videos I do. So if you guys did not watch the video after the cooking was done, stay there. Watch my spoken word. Okay? Tell me what you think. I'll be looking for comments. Send me an email. Anyway, moving on. Let's get in the kitchen and make this squash. Y'all ready? Let's go. Okay, you guys, so here is the spaghetti squash. So as you can see, I cut it open, took all of the seeds out, and if you go to the store, it's like a light color here. That's spaghetti squash. So what I have here, I have some white pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. So I'm gonna sprinkle that on the top, and it's just a little pinch of salt because you guys will see the salt is going to come from another ingredient that I'm going to add. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this all over. Like I said, this is my favorite time of the season. I mean, I love spaghetti squash. Sprinkle the rest of that on there, rub it in. Now, we're going to take this. This here is olive oil. We're going to brush it right on there. That's it. Now we're not going to cook these face side up. We're going to turn them upside down. There's so many different ways I've been seeing how people make theirs. It depends on your liking. And I'm not going to do the basic quick method. I'm going to do some just a little bit different. You guys know how I roll. I always like to do something different. Okay, so now you have to cook them upside down, just like that. Some parchment paper upside down, and it's on a cookie sheet. So we're going to place this in the oven for 40 minutes, and we're going to cook it at 400 degrees. Okay, you guys, let's get this in the oven. Okay, you guys, so we're going to go ahead and make our white sauce now. So I have some leftover Italian sausage there. I have a cup of heavy cream. I'm not going to use any flour because the heavy cream is going to give me the thickness that I need for my sauce. I have this on standby. It's really just like a chicken stock. And in here, I have my seasoning, same as before, garlic powder, onion powder, and white pepper. I have a little garlic paste here. I have some butter. Here's my Gouda cheese, and there's some fresh lime. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this and get everything in here so we can get our sauce going, because our other stuff is cooling down, which is the spaghetti squash. All right, so let's go ahead and get this in there. We have the butter and we have the paste. It's going to give a little flavor to that too as well. So we have that in there. We're going to go ahead and move that around a little bit. We really don't want it to melt on its own, because it could sometimes cook really fast and then you get that burnt taste. And we do not want any burnt taste on our sauce. So I did have my ingredients out room temperature. So the heavy cream is not cold, like it's just come out of the refrigerator, and the Gouda cheese has been out for a little while too as well. All right, so we're just going to put half of this seasoning in there right now, just to sprinkle it around, just like that. And I have some fresh thyme too. You can use any kind of herb you want, but for me, I chose to use the thyme. So now we're going to go ahead and put this heavy cream in there. I prefer white sauce over the tomato sauce, especially for this particular dish. And besides, I'm not a really big red sauce type of girl, you know. So sometimes the acid, for certain people, it bothers them. It doesn't do that for me, but I do not want to take any chances. So we're going to let that come to a little simmer, not a boil. Let me get the rest of my ingredients close by. So it's always good to have things on hand already in your refrigerator or your freezer, or some things that you need to use up within 3 days. So for me, I make sure that if I don't use what's in my refrigerator in 3 days, I either freeze it if it's freezable, and if it's not, I toss it. But I don't have too many things that I toss because I cook small. But I always have a little extra just in case my family comes over, or I want them to taste something new that I'm creating, okay? So it's so important to have all these extra things in your freezer. Even if you're a single person, I always take all the ingredients I have left over from another dish that I make, like this Italian sweet sausage, and I froze it. So really, I just said, well, let me get this out the freezer, and I can use this. So now that I see it moving around, some heat is coming here, I'm going to go ahead and add my cheese. I love Gouda. It has like a slight pungent taste to it, but not a bad pungent taste. And I have this stock here on standby, just in case the sauce gets too thick and you don't want to thin your sauce out with water. You want to always have flavor. So let's put these herbs in here. And it's all about building flavor upon flavor upon flavor. So I never use water for sauces or anything. Even if I'm making grits, I'm going to have some stock or some seafood stock or something of that nature. So the key to this is you don't want your sauce to burn. So that is why I am stirring this. So your ratio is a 2-to-1. So I put a cup of heavy cream in here and a half a cup of cheese. Now you can adjust it whichever way you like, but for me, that is my ratio. So we're going to go ahead and add the rest of these seasonings in there. I chose white pepper because it's a little stronger, but it doesn't change the color of the white sauce. So that is why I chose all the white. I got white onion powder, I have some garlic powder, and I have some white pepper. And that is why I chose to use the white pepper instead of the black. But the flavor is much stronger when you use any kind of like a white pepper instead of the black pepper. So if you guys can see, it is actually getting thick. I don't want it too thick, but I do want it thick. So basically, to see where you want your sauce to meet at, when you dip this into the sauce and it stays on the spoon, nappe, that means it's ready, right? So you guys see it bubbling up there in the middle? That is what we want. So I may not use all of this, but I'm going to use some of this. I think I don't require a lot of meat, but I'm going to put some in there now. See how my sauce, see you guys, wipes away, it's on there. So we're doing good with the sauce situation. And there's a little grease inside of the sausage. So you don't want to make sure you drain that because you don't want your sauce to break. And this is your white sauce. That's it. So the key is to remove this from the heat because it will get thicker. And that is why I always have like a stock or something on standby. So we're going to go ahead, you guys, and add this to our spaghetti squash. Oh, that looks so good. Look at that. It's simple. White sauce. It's not difficult. Once again, you take your finger like that, nappe. I'm tasting it. It tastes so good. All right, you guys. Let's get this into our spaghetti squash. Bring it together. And let's see what our presentation looks like. Okay, you guys, stand by. Okay, you guys. You see, I have the spaghetti squash out. I'm just going to take my fork and string it back and forth. Fold in the white sauce. You guys gotta try this. Let's see how this is going to look. Let's put it all together. Okay, you see how this one comes together? Same way. You're just gonna scrape it. And you guys know why it's called spaghetti squash, because it looks like strings of spaghetti pasta. So, but it's healthy. But what makes it unhealthy is what you put in it. And that is what we're about to put some cream in there. Heavy cream white sauce in there, you guys. So that's what it looks like. And it's seasoned very well. All right. Let's get it going. Okay, you guys. Here is your squash. Doesn't that look delicious? Okay, you guys, enjoy. Darkness can't stand out when light enters the room. Be the light so that others may be drawn to the light. of Jesus.